Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and we are back with more of The Sims 4 Fractured, which is our Disney Villain Legacy Challenge, and everything is sped up, and you'll notice the video is extremely short. All of them are going to be this way this week because my recording software decided to jack up my microphone volume almost to 200%, and that means that when I get loud or very excited or yell at my Sims, which I do, that the audio sounds really crackly, it's high pitch, it's god awful, and it will grate at your ears. And it's not like, oh, it does it a little bit once in a while. You know how loud I can get. It's god fucking awful. It was a train wreck, and I was like, I either scrap all the videos, I overdub them, or I make you suffer. And I'm not gonna make you suffer for an hour basically for each part, if even if you only watch one thing. I don't want you to have to suffer like that. You know what I mean? So we're just gonna overdub. But anyway, so when this one first popped in, I was like, I'm so mad at myself, right? Because like as I was like loading my game, I'm like, oh my god, I'm so dumb. I don't know why, because I was like, I looked in the family tree and I was like, oh right, yeah, he's got a niece. I forgot that we had Miles had that fling, right? And then I was like, oh my god, why in the world, when Miles and Leona were kids, like teenagers, did we not have Miles have like a girlfriend or something that then Leona decided he was gonna like try to woo, or like, just basically like sleep with them or do whatever, and then like to make Miles jealous, you know what I mean? And then like why didn't we do that? And that could have been why they fight. And then like, it would have been so good. That would have been a reason why they were getting not getting along, and Miles was mad at Leona, and then Leona's mad at Miles. Because like Leona's always resented Miles, and like fair, but like that would have just added to the drama. And I'm like, why the hell didn't I think of that? Like, whatever. Um, we thought about some drama for the kind of like the next generation later, but like I'll get into that in a little bit. But to kind of bring it full circle to like how we started this out. So right now I am just having, it's New Year's Eve basically in the game. So Leona's at work. You can tell he's doing his which one is this one? Like Desires and Debauchery or whatever. I don't know. Like whatever one it is, you know what I mean? It's ye olde time one. I forget what the hell it's called. Um but he's there. I was having him take photos because he, goddamn, every costume he puts on, everything they put him on, he just looks gorgeous. So for New Year's Eve, I had him, he wanted to make a resolution. So I made the resolution that we were going to go up an aspiration level. So he has to get to be a 2-star celebrity in 7 days. So I've been like a lot through the episode, you might catch me going through and being like, all right, just do this, do that. Like post on Simstagram, upload this picture. So I had him take all those photos of himself just because I love the photos he takes of himself, like in these costumes. And I had him upload those all to Simstagram because I'm like, you absolutely would, right? You're gonna upload more than one picture. So yeah, that was that. I'm sorry. As I'm doing this, I'm trying to like scroll over and track where my recording is so I know where we are in time, and like I don't like keep talking while the part ends. You know what I mean? But like I try to do that, and then like I can't keep up. I can't find like because it doesn't move with it. Like when your audio's tracking, it'll just keep going, and you're like, I can see the video, but I can't see on the timeline where the line is that's saying this is where you are in the video. It just doesn't show up, and it's like driving me bonkers here. But anyway, yes. So we're just gonna have him go do his daily tasks and whatnot at work. I'm so trying to like get this driving me bonkers. Anyway, so he's doing his acting. I love it when they yell, but anyway. So yeah, so he's gonna try to update his. That's what we're doing for his resolution. I lost track of where the hell I was. I'm sorry. This is like a mess, but like again, I spent like 4.5 hours between fighting with my game to get it to like not drop frame rates, and then the sound being all off, and I was like, so now here I am at night after I should be done, and I should be processing my videos, overdubbing them all, and obviously I sped everything up because I'm not gonna make you sit here while I'm like, okay, so now we're doing this. Because like while we're playing, we're talking about things, I'm doing things, but when you're trying to overdub it, you're like, I don't know, shit's happening. So whatever. Um, But anyway, yeah, so he's gonna do that, and I think trying to think of like where else what else we were doing. Yeah, I guess that's it. He's gonna go. I think I went and straight up got him another gig. Yeah, so we do the Captain Sigma one at the bottom. I was debating between this one and like the police procedural one because the police procedural one pays less money and you need less fitness. I think I was paused on that one because I'm like, we did this one already, right? Didn't we do the apocalypse one? But obviously when we're doing this, if we do the same one again, because there's only so many gigs, if we're like, oh, we'll do the apocalypse now one or the whatever or the that's not what it is, but you know what I mean, the zombie apocalypse one or the pirate one again or whatever, that it's just we'll consider it like, oh, it's like you're doing part 2 or part 3, it's a trilogy, you know what I mean? So but for now I did he's got the Captain Sigma one that he's going to prepare for, because I was like, yeah, sure, he's going to do dignity and decorum. That's what it's called. Jesus Christ. Anyway, sure, like every once in a while maybe he'll do like the little like romantic drama pieces because like, hey, good for him. But I think I could see him, especially because he's so into fitness, that the action movies and stuff would be kind of more aligned with him. Um, that mouse scrolling was because I was like adjusting myself and my mouse moved and like so like whatever. Sorry. And okay, so right. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna get into it now. I know we talk about it later in the video, not like it matters because we're just trying to fill time. But so later I'm gonna look through. Oh no, I'm looking through it now. Okay, so Basil's still a baby, and Salinger only has a couple of days till he ages up. And I think this was the point where I was like, huh, Kiyoshi's still got like 18 days. And I was thinking, I know what we kept trying last time, like, well, let's get Woohoo and Kiyoshi and see if he dies. Like we overexert himself, right? I think we're gonna kind of force that because what I'm thinking is it would be nice to take Salinger when he's a child, right? But it kind of we would take him when Kiyoshi dies, but Kiyoshi when he dies, Salinger's going to be a teenager, and I don't think I want to wait that long to move the kids in. I think I want to move them in when they're children. But I might wait until Salinger and Basil are both children. Salinger will be a little bit older and everything. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it. Do we move Salinger in first and then Basil shows up later like the fuck? You know what I mean? Because the next generation is supposed to be Yzma, right? And they're supposed to throw I don't have my notebook on me, but they have to throw parties and they're supposed to sacrifice somebody or feed someone to a cow plant. Doesn't say kill them, whatever. We'll get to that. And all that stuff like that. And I was like, all right, so yeah, here's where okay. This has been happening in all my games, and I don't know if I have a broken mod or something, but like they'll get a phone call and they go to click it, but then the call goes away, but then they get a sad mood because someone died, but there's nothing in the pop-ups. You don't get the pop-up like, oh, I'm calling to let you know someone so died. It's like I click the answer the phone, but it goes away and there's no pop up, no nothing. And I'm like, what the frick? So I think it was Esther, which was Ambrose and Ansel's sister. I think she's the one that died because that's the only person I could see in the thing. But I eventually later like cancel him being sad about it because he didn't even know Esther. They never even met. I'm like, you never met Esther? Like she never came over? Like really? I think this is the one. There's another one where somebody in the family no, yeah, this one was Esther because it was a family member and I'm like, you never even met her, so like why are you sad about it? Like whatever. Um anyway, so yeah. Because I realized that like actually I kind of thought about this as I was going through doing stuff. And then I was like, well, that brings it full circle and makes it more exciting because we started off really hot with this series, right? There was so much drama. God, especially when we got to now I can't remember names because I don't have my book with me. But anyway, like Sebastian's he had a traumatic childhood, but like he was just a whore sleeping with everybody, right? And then poor Paxton and Gray, and it was like after that with why can't I remember their child's name? Um, like with the whole thing, like oh, and then he was in love with the girl Allie, and then he killed her boyfriend, and then like And then she slept with his husband. And like there was just so much drama, right? Like, man, I was so good writing all that drama in. And I'm like, and then we kind of just fell off and we're just going through the motions and not a lot is happening. And I'm like, I feel like it's like a TV show where like the beginning series, like the seasons are like really good, and then like you're like then it kind of falls off, and you're like, I'm just here because like I mean, I'm just here now. I'm invested now, but like, eh. And then the end, they just like go out with a bang. So I'm like, well, let's just do that because I think it was at this point because I know he was exercising, which doesn't help because he exercises all the time. But I was like, all right, so because I kind of forgot, I'm like, oh right, yeah, he's got a niece, not Nyla. I think her name's Nyla. Um, Miles's little one night stand, and I was like, right, let's get her pregnant, right? Well, he has no relation with her, right? And Nyla has no relationship, obviously, with Miles because Miles is dead because Leona sort of, kind of, maybe killed him? Question mark. Probably. Um. So I was like, oh my god, here's the drama. What if Nyla, like, all of a sudden at some point later on in her life, because she's a child now, so whatever, like, is like Leona killed my fucking father, and that's why I never had a father in my life. So like, I'm gonna kill him, and then comes and kills Leona. I was looking through spells because I was like, are there spells to kill people? Will I have like bring them back from the dead and all this shit? But I was like, because Leona's a spellcaster, so it'd be great if one of his kids was a spellcaster. Because I was like, all right, so Nyla decides finds out about all this stuff and whatever happened, comes after Leona. And it could be when he's an adult or an elder. We'll do it later on in his life. I'm not worried about it right now. You know what I mean? But we'll get to that point, and she'll like take out her revenge and kill Leona. And then like I was like Salinger and Basil could both be our heirs. We could play with both of them as if they're Yzma and kind of split up. Because Yzma just has to throw parties and like feed someone to a cow plant and whatever. And I'm like, if one of them is a spellcaster, it'd be perfect. They could work on spells to kind of like, I was really hoping there's like a spell to kill her, but like whatever. The cow plant too. We'll feed her to the cow plant. Maybe we'll like lock her in a room with the cow plant so that she eats it and dies. Cause like, the cow plant's always gonna be hungry and then she's gonna get hungry and eat the cake and then like whatever. So Nyla will come kill Leona, and then basically Salinger and Basil will then just be conspiring, even though they didn't have a great relationship with Leona. We'll get to that. Um, to like take their revenge. Like, what the fuck? You killed my dad? I'm gonna kill you. And then they kill her, and like that's like the whole point of their generation. And like, you know, so I'm like, that's kind of perfect because Leona is kind of just out there having random kids that he doesn't do anything with. Kind of like Sebastian, his great, who knows how many greats back. I actually read through my book and figured it out, but I don't know anymore. Um, like Sebastian was like impregnating everybody, right? So I'm like, oh, it's kind of cool that Leona goes back and does shit like that too, you know? Um, so we're kind of like tying it back and we're bringing the drama back. So I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll probably have both of them, but like I want Kyoshi to die, so then there's a reason to take Salinger in, and then especially because the weirdest thing is, I was like, all right, so he'll have a relationship with Salinger because he's already visited him, and we tried to bring him over as an infant, but that doesn't work, so whatever. Um, and then Basil will be knocking on the door like, "Excuse me, why the hell do you have a relationship with this kid and not me? Hello? What the fuck?" You know what I mean? And so then cuz he's supposed to not have a good relationship with the prior heir. Um but if Leona has an okay relationship with this kid, I'm just going to let it happen when whatever happens happens. I'm not going to follow that too much in the challenge. And however their relationship develops, it develops because I kind of want Salinger and Basil to have the whole thing where they conspire together to take revenge on Nyla for killing their dad, even though she was taking revenge on him for killing her dad. You know what I mean? Anyway. I was also looking here because he got the gig. He got the Captain Sigma gig, so I'm doing all the tasks. So he obviously works out. That's easy. We invited all the coworkers over to chit chat with him, and he has to get into an angry mood. He has to research angry emotions. So I was like, "Oh, that's perfect. We could go visit your dad because you hate your dad, right?" So I was looking at that, but of course Liam is working, so I was like, "All right, we'll get all the rest of the stuff done." Um, and then later he's going to go over and visit Miles and get those angry emotions and stuff done. I did have to cheat it, like to flag it as okay, because like he was angry, but then they got into a fight and then he's okay. And then so then all the angry stuff he's doing doesn't count. And I'm like, we did way more than enough angry stuff. So like, whatever. I don't want to keep cheating away his other moodlets. You know what I mean? Because I don't want him to get so angry that he has a heart attack. You know what I mean? So it's like, whatever. So we're just working on those tasks for this. And I keep checking and I'm like, no, Liam's not home. And like, whatever. And then a friend of his invites him out because I tried to send him a playful text. Like, then he'll invite us out. But because he's at work, he wouldn't. So, and there's Ansel. Bye, Ansel. He was like, hi, bye. He just walked up the stairs and that's all we saw of him. Um, yeah, but I think it'll be kind of fun trying to use. And then the thing I was thinking, I'm like, it's so unfortunate that we can't have like Salinger and Basil have like kind of a bad relationship, but also get along because they're both conspiring together to take their revenge out on Nyla after she kills Leona. You know what I mean? But like, it's just not how the Sims work. It can't be that dynamic. So anyway, this is where Leona's friend, like I sent a playful text to someone because he's only supposed to have like 3 good friends and technically Ambrose is one of his good friends and I'm like he's technically dead so I don't think that counts. Just whatever. Ansel's your family member, but he has more than 3 friends. And so I was like, well maybe we'll go and we'll research the angry emotion with our friend and then I'll take some of our friendship down. Who cares? This is just a random person. I don't even know this Kenneth guy. And then I was like, let's invite Miles, but Miles, we couldn't get him to come. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. End the outing. We're going to go straight to our old house. And I was like, where's Miles's grave so we can just kick it? But, you know, um, because I look over and I'm like, nah, this is only Ambrose over here. So we just go in the house and Miles was here and I was like, score. So this is where they're just gonna like fight and like they have a difficult family dynamic. I love it. I was like, of course they do. Like they hate each other. It's also really difficult hating your dead ghost brother, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I kind of like I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of like we're getting exciting with the drama. Like I used to write such good drama in, and there were these plot lines, and then it was like, I mean, things are just whatever. Like we wrote a little bit with this, like, oh, Leona and Miles hate each other, and then whatever. It's like wasn't quite as dramatic. So I feel like will bring some of the drama back, for the later for the last generation. But we got a little ways to go because Salinger is still a toddler and Basil just aged up to an infant, so obviously we have time. Salinger will be a child in 2 days, I think I said, but and then we'll wait. So we'll take them. Well, you know what I mean. Like I'll figure out when we'll take Salinger in, but I think we'll have him there a little bit before Basil. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm sorry about the audio issues. Hopefully next week, everything is fine again, and we don't have to deal with this bullshit and whatnot. So I'm sorry. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Yeah, that's basically it. So anyway, I will see you next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.